Some NBA numbers don't just live in the record.
Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over. Seconds. Jordan scores from shot clock. Oh, yeah!
They glare at you from the rafters like stone gargoyles guarding a cathedral. Every summer, we talk ourselves into the next wave of basketball evolution. Taller wings, deeper threes, prettier spacing, smarter analytics, fresher memes. And yet, a handful of stats refuse to budge. They're not just milestones.
Foul on Anthony Edwards. Wow! Wow, nobody in this building.
They're monuments. You don't pass them, you visit, you take a selfie, and you go home humbled. So which feats are more fortress than finish line? Which marks make even the wildest highlight machine shrug and go, yeah, no. Lace up. Let's walk the museum where the records watch you back. The Wilt Chamber, where math melts. Imagine handing a vintage leather ball to a 7'1" athletic supernova and telling him, play every minute, don't foul out, run like a deer, and please break probability while you're at it. That was Wilt Chamberlain.
85-4, 85-81.
Chamberlain again underneath. Great shot by Chamberlain.
The headliner in his hall needs no intro. One night in a small Pennsylvania arena with no TV cameras and about 6 people eating popcorn in a third row, he threw 100 on the scoreboard.
Rodgers throws long to Chamberlain. He's got it. He's trying to get up. He shoots. No good. The rebound, Luckenbill. Back to Chamberlain. He shoots. Up. No good.
No three-point line, no 5-out geometry, no ghost screen lingo. Just 36 makes from the field and, plot twist, a free throw performance so good even his critics had to put their slingshots down for a night. Kobe's 81 felt like a comic book panel ripped open. Devin Booker's 70 was ablaze. But 100 is a moon landing. If someone touches that again, we're calling NASA for a wellness check. And then there's the season where Wilt averaged more than 50 a game. There are binge watchers who don't average 50 episodes in a month. He averaged 48.5 minutes per night because overtime exists and rest did not. In a league that now guards legs like national treasures, that kind of volume lives in a time capsule with black and white film and finger rolls that sound like jazz. 11 rings and a locked jewelry case. You can have a dynasty, and then you can own a decade. Bill Russell chose the latter. 11 championships as a player, enough hardware to outfit a marching band.
What a block by Russell! What a block by Bill Russell on Chamberlain's dunk shot. Incredible!
Sure, the era was smaller and continuity was king, but that doesn't make it less ridiculous. In modern hoops, 2 rings can define a generation. 3 makes a documentary. 11 is a trilogy, a reboot, and the behind-the-scenes bonus disc. Between player movement, cap aprons, sports science, and the existential crisis caused by back-to-backs in Detroit in February, nobody is lugging home that many banners again. Russell didn't just set a record. He built a fence around it and kept the keys. The Stockton Ledger. Passes that compound interest. John Stockton looked like the neighborhood CPA who brings orange slices to the youth soccer. Then he'd hit you with a pocket pass so sharp it should have come with a warning label. 15,806 assists, 3,265 steals. Those aren't totals, they're topography. His secret wasn't just vision, footwork, and timing, it was availability. The superpower nobody drafts for and everybody envies. Year after year, same jersey, same screen angles, same devastating two-man poetry with Karl Malone. To catch him, a guard would need preposterous health, a day-one chemistry partner, and a front office allergic to trades. If that happens, great. Also, unicorns are real and they file W-2s now. 30 dimes in one night. The Threadweaver's tall tale. There's efficient playmaking, there's stat padding, and then there's Scott Skiles waking up and deciding the ball isn't allowed to stop moving.
Skiles to Riddle, jump shot is up, it is good! Gary Riddle! Scott Skiles with his 40th assist for the night, and that's the new NBA record.
30 assists in a single game is part orchestration, part hypnosis, part everybody else forgetting how to miss. It requires pace, coach buy-in, hot hands at every spot, and a defense that keeps letting you run the same magic trick. Legends have flirted with the 20s. Crossing into the 30s is like spotting a comet. If you see it, Make a wish and get your phone out because that thing won't circle back for a while. Klay Day, 12 minutes of sun. Some heat checks are cute. Klay Thompson's third quarter against Sacramento was a supernova.
Klay Thompson, now in 15.
37 in a single frame, 13 shots attempted, 13 shots made, 9 of them from a zip code usually reserved for postcards. He barely dribbled, he barely blinked. It felt like the rim got bigger and the ball got lighter, and the Kings scouting report had been replaced by a recipe for banana bread. In an era where threes fly like confetti, this still sits alone because it combined volume, accuracy, and perfection. Someone might chuck more. No one's topping flawless. The Iron attendance record nobody is scheduling. There was a time when rest meant sit on your suitcase at the airport. AC Green didn't just show up, he made showing up a personality trait. Over 1,000 straight games, through bumps, bruises, rolled ankles, and mornings where the body says, "Are you sure about this?" He checked in.
This game has been tied. 3 minutes to go in the half. AC Green over Rodman, and Phoenix back in front.
Today's league invests heavily in longevity. Ironically, that focus makes the Iron Streak tougher. Coaches will save you from yourself. Medical staffs will tell you no. AC's run belongs to an era when the only load management was lifting a teammate off the hardwood. The tea lighter in a storm. Text that made the league nervous. Rasheed Wallace gathered technical fouls like souvenirs from a road trip. Over 41 in one season, so many that the rules had to be rewritten with an eject button at 16. Think about that. A player argued with the universe so convincingly the league codified an intervention. To break it now, a guy would have to get teed up for tying his shoes too enthusiastically. Officials communicate, replay exists, and there's a limit before you start missing games for vibes alone. That mountain got fenced off and posted with no climbing signs. The streak that forgot how to lose. Win streaks are fragile little miracles. One cold night, one travel snafu, one hot opponent, and poof, back to earth. The early 70s Lakers didn't care. 33 in a row, over a month without a loss.
And their 33 consecutive game win streak is on the line.
That isn't a hot stretch, it's a lifestyle. Today's best teams can rattle off double digits. The schedule, parity, and random chaos of an 82-game sprint conspire to chop down anything too tall. 33 is a skyscraper that ignores the wind. The dream shadow. Blocks built like a skyline. Hakeem Olajuwon didn't just block shots, he reorganized geometry. Nearly 4,000 career denials and a highlight reel that still makes young bigs pause film and rewind 3 times.
And Hakeem gets a block. He gets a second block. Stiff gonna try it again. Yeah, he gets a third block.
Modern offenses pull centers to the arc. Refereeing discourages volleyball swats. Coaches prefer verticality over hunting stats. To catch Hakeem, you'd need a 20-year prime, constant rim pressure from opponents, and a body carved from midnight prayers. He set a height on rim protection that modern spacing politely declines to chase. The crown that doesn't come off, a decade of scoring titles. Michael Jordan didn't lead the league in scoring once in a while. He claimed the crown so often they should have charged him rent. 10 titles. That's not just talent, it's obsession. Health and a franchise saying, yes, you may keep shooting. Today's flow prioritizes the best shot over the loudest shot. And stars share to win. You might see someone ring the bell 4 or 5 times across a long arc of excellence. 10 requires a drumbeat of nightly hunting that modern systems politely redirect into corner threes. Why the monuments endure. It's tempting to chalk all this up to they were built different. And hey, those old-timers did some horrifying things to lactic acid. But the bigger truth is context. The rules changed, the math changed, the incentives changed. Freedom of movement cracked open spacing, and spacing deflated singular box scores. Defensive 3 seconds nudged bigs out of the paint. Load management turned minutes into investments. The cap turned dynasties into puzzles where one wrong contract can derail momentum. Even the way we teach the game is different. Possession value is king, variance is a villain, and hunt the mismatch now means kick to the weak side corner. The tempting almosts. Every now and then, a live game makes the room hold its breath. A flamethrower guard hits 10 threes by halftime and the tweets start. Is tonight the night? A point guard has 18 assists through 3 and someone dusts off the Skiles clip. A contender stacks 20 straight wins and the talking heads begin practicing their history voice. Teasing the outer edges is part of the fun, but those last few rungs, The air gets weird up there. Defenses adjust, legs wobble, coaches pull the plug, and history remains a little smug. What it would take to crack one. Let's play Mad Scientist. Want 100 points again? You need a heliocentric scorer on a night where his 3 is a rumor, his mid-range is church, and his teammates swear a blood oath to screen like their mortgages depend on it. You'd also need a coach willing to ignore the sportsmanship group chat and a defense that insists on playing single coverage out of civic pride. Want 31 assists? Your shooters must be allergic to iron. Your big must live in the dunker spot, and the opposing coach must adjust approximately never. A new Ironman streak? Good luck convincing the medical team to sign the permission slip. These records are not impossible mathematically, they are hostile ecologically. The environment refuses to cooperate. Why we keep looking up. Records give the present something to chase and the past something to boast. They frame the conversation, start barbershop debates, and turn a random Wednesday into a possible holiday. When a player sprints at history, everybody's alive. Teammates cut harder, fans buzz earlier, announcers dig deeper into the thesaurus. And if the chase fails, that's fine. It just means the myth did its job and the story gets another chapter. Think of them less as lines nobody can cross and more as cliffs that make the view worth the hike. Buzzer beater, statues and sparks. Some nights end with confetti. Others end with a quiet scoreboard and a loud conversation about what's possible. The statues we visited, Wilt's Century and Season of 50, Russell's Ring Mountain, Stockton's Ledger, Skiles' Dime Storm, Klay's Perfect Quarter, AC's Iron Chain, Rasheed's Tech Tour, the Lakers' month without losing, Hakeem's block skyline, Jordan's decade-long scoring crown. They aren't there to make today's stars feel small. They're there to make the game feel huge. They're proof that basketball can bend reality, then snap back with a grin. So when someone hangs 60 or flirts with 25 assists or strings together a fortnight of W's, don't roll your eyes at the gap between now and forever. Smile at the chase. History's not a gate, it's a runway. And if you've got a favorite never getting touched record or a spicy pick you think some alien rookie will erase in 10 years, drop it in the comments. Bring your best evidence, bring your wildest optimism, and bring a snack because we're going to be here a while.